We are about to start our long run, 16 miles today. However, we're doing it at our boring loop for y'all, but we want to see if the bathrooms are still open because, you know, they close them when it gets colder. And it's good to know that if we have to, if the situation arises, if we need to jump in the car and drive to a store or something real quick, or a gas station, or if we can just stop on our way while we're doing a loop. So we're doing that real quick. Yeah, we like to try to be prepared. That's what that is. I see padlocks.
Yep.
Bathrooms are closed at the park. Yay. So I guess if you're ever in central Utah at a random park and it's after the mid of October, you can't use the bathrooms there. Now on the actual real running news. Not news. This is the news in our little bubble. Our status. We'll talk more as we run, but today is 16 mile. Last week was a recovery week ish. I ran the half marathon last week. That's not really a tapered or recovered slower run because I tried to go fast and live up to the costume's name, and I felt it the next day. So I was actually kind of beat up to like Monday, even in the Tuesday morning. So I don't know, I probably didn't do myself any favors there, but it was a good measure. So 16 miles today. I don't know if I've said this before, and Stacy will probably nod yes or no, or just cut this. We're slowing our pace just slightly. The last two long runs, I don't know if it's the fuel, I don't know if it's a combination, or maybe we're just slightly training a little too fast for what we're at. We've been trying to train at a 10:30 pace for the whole distance, 10:30 to 11, and we've decided to back that up just a little bit and do an 11 to 11:30. The reason for that is to make sure we're trying to keep our heart rates lower, because it's supposed to be, you know, that 80-20 zone 2 stuff, etc., as well as hopefully just being able to not feel so garbage when we're done. So a 16 mile at 11 to 11:30, which is still much faster than I trained for my last one, which is usually like a 12:30 to 13 was the goal paces there. So still a lot faster. But with that, I'm gonna turn on my GPS and we'll talk to y'all in a minute. We're 5 miles in, so about 50 something minutes later. We are changing up our route to try to keep this from becoming monotonous, because 16 miles on a 1 mile loop starting to get old. So we're playing a game where we've got a certain amount of blocks and we've got to try to get the most. It's a loud truck for no reason. Speed limit's 35. Anyway, the most amount of mileage out of those blocks without repeating or overlapping. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. But besides that, let's do a check-in. I'm feeling okay 5 miles in. I can tell we're going too fast. Stacy's booking it. Going back. Anyway, so I'm feeling okay for 5 miles in. We got 11 to go. I think we're just over an 11-minute mile. How are you feeling, Stacy? Which is okay, because she talks quieter sometimes. I can't tell if you guys can hear her or not. I thought watch is still going on because we're at 10:20. I'm expecting you to pace us while we run or while I talk.
I'm working on it.
Okay. Anyway, thought I would give a little bit of insight to our morning routine on days of our long runs. We get up and we always have an estimated time that we're gonna, hey, we want to be at the park by this time to run for weather, heat, whatever purposes. And we always plan that time. And then we always, which means we have to wake up by this time, you know, get ready, etc. And then we inevitably always sleep in about 30 minutes later than that time. And we always end up about to the park about an hour later than we wanted. It's just because, you know, it's hard to get up on Saturday morning sometimes for a long run. Races are a little bit easier because they're an event. It's hard to get that motivation sometimes though for long runs. What I usually do though is I get up, I get some coffee going, and then I've been eating a bagel, peanut butter and jelly bagel. I only eat the peanut butter and jelly bagel on long run days. And that's because the bagel has 45 grams of carbs and it's only 260 calories. Obviously the peanut butter and jelly adds calories to that. It ends up being about a 500 calorie breakfast. And then I'll straight have a banana for more carbs. And then we slowly get ready in our gear, check the weather, see if we need to dress warmer or colder. And we prepare our waters. I normally prepare 2 waters. One is just water, and then another one I have those Gatorade packets that are only 10 calories but have electrolytes. And then this morning though, we did do something slightly different. Stacy ordered a carbohydrate drink mix. That's supposed to give us, I don't remember how many carbs, a lot, that we can drink as a recovery as we run. Now that's got 400 calories in it. She did some research or YouTubing, I don't know. Somebody out there, maybe it was a follower, if so, thank you. Maybe it was something else. Says we should be consuming half the calories we burn during the run, probably carbohydrates. So we're trying that to see if that's what's been kicking our butt in the last couple runs, is because we're not doing that. So we're swigging on that too, trying to get our carbohydrates and some calorie or fuel besides just water and electrolytes and candy. No candy this time. So we are trying to use the liquid carbohydrates purely as a replacement to the candy. With that, that's our long run routine. I'll check back in a bit and let you know how many miles Stacy got out of our little 4-block area. And we'll talk about last week's results. Hard right, huh?
All right, my challenge of distance is complete. I got a 2.55 miles.
I don't know if I can beat it. She's pretty efficient, y'all. We'll see what I can figure out here, but
I did all right. Can't complain too much. Anyway, so it's Tyson's turn. Talking about last week. Last week, prior to the half marathon that Tyson ran, was a taper week, or not taper, a recovery week. And so our miles were a little bit less. We had just a 5-mile easy pace run and then a speed interval session, which I think was 800 meters at an 8:30 pace, followed by like 2-minute walk or something like that. It equaled 2.5 miles for me. And then 10-mile run for the long run that day, or that week, which
13 for me.
Tyson did 13 because it was the half. And what I did was dropped him off for the bus and then went back and ran around a park near the hotel. And then I remembered it's freezing cold. So I went back to the hotel and finished out there. After the long run was supposed to be a 3-mile recovery, which I didn't do. Technically, Tyson got the mileage because the half was obviously longer than the 10-mile run. So Tyson got the mileage.
But I didn't get a recovery and I should have.
Yeah. And then this week is we're back up to higher miles. We had a 7-mile easy run. And then our interval / speed session was supposed to run a mile at a 9-minute and then rest for 5 minutes. And I did that. Tyson kind of went rogue and did his own thing.
Hey, it was the same mileage in the same interval-ish.
Yeah, not really. Don't listen to him. And then today we have a 16-mile. And I've been a little wary about this one because our 15-miler that we did 2 weeks ago now, we didn't film it because I don't know why, we just didn't. Anyway, it ended up being brutal. We had to do it later in the evening than normal. And so it ended up being really cold. I don't think we were fueled as well as we should have been. And it didn't turn out as good as we would have wanted. So that was a little bit discouraging. And so I've been worried about today. Well, basically since then. The moment we're doing okay.
We're 8 miles in, just halfway.
Yeah, we're halfway through. So I'm feeling okay. I'm a little tired though, but that's all right. And then in theory, we have a recovery run tomorrow of 4 miles, which I'll probably do while watching a football game or something. Anyway, that's where we're at for the week. We'll see if Tyson can beat me on this challenge. We'll check in after his section. All right, challenge over. He beat me, barely, by about 0.15. There was a little bit of distance at the beginning that I knew after I did it, I realized I could have done better.
Next time when we play, I'll go first because I do think the second person has a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
Of seeing what the other person does as well as where they miss. So I had a little bit of a advantage. So if we ever play again, I'll go first next time.
Probably have to find a different park to play in.
Yeah. And we're at about 10.3 miles now, just in case y'all wondering. So we're heading to the car for another water break, almost 3 miles from the last one.
All right. Check in a bit.
So fun fact, about a week and a half ago, we got a few inches of snow, and now we're back to where it feels almost like summer. This is in a very unusually warm fall for us. I'm enjoying it for the running, but that shouldn't be that green at this moment. 16 miles done and dusted. The thing I always used to ask myself, Stacy, every time when I was training solo, after I finished a long run, I would do the math of what it takes to get to a marathon and say, did I have that many more in us? So, did you have 10 more miles in you today, if you had to run a marathon today?
Running? No, but I could walk it.
All right, so we're not there yet. I felt like I had a few more miles in me. I was feeling pretty decent. Maybe it's the carbohydrate drink, maybe not. Maybe it was just a good day. Hard to tell just after one run, you know, we've got to try it consistently. That stuff's not cheap though, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's 16 miles. It took us, I don't know, I already closed it on my watch, 3 hours, give or take. Stacy's slightly frustrated because her watch went off at 16 miles and then she hit stop and save, and then it came up as 15.99. So, which I agree is BS. Give her credit for the 16 mile. It said 16 mile. But with that, any closing statements?
I'm good.
She's good. Next week we up to 18. So we're starting to go up 2 miles for the long runs for the next couple weeks. We'll be in the taper for more videos. And then getting ready to travel, I guess, because it's not here. It'd be too cold here. Nobody wants, I mean, I'm sure they do them. Nobody wants to run a marathon in Utah in December. With that, stay safe, keep pushing. We'll see you next week. Let's go get a burrito.